I was literally that child who loved all things feminine. 50 to 60 bags like myself. Every new bag I had to have. I have a different perspective on luxury now that I'm able to pay for it myself. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, welcome to the month of luxury. I decided to do a fun month of luxury here on my channel because it is my birthday month. So I'm giving you guys some videos that you have been asking for that I just haven't had time to do because y'all know I plan all my videos a year in advance, but also some videos that I've been meaning to put out that I have been tagged in. So today I am doing the 5 mistakes I've made buying luxury tag. Now I want to say Benita Brewington and my girl Roya both tagged me a long time ago. But once again, I plan all my videos a year in advance, so I'm a little obsessive about sticking to my schedule. But I wanted to get this video out because I think it's gonna be very insightful and fun to kind of take a walk down memory lane. So if you want to know all the luxury regrets I've made, the mistakes I've made purchasing luxury, then please keep watching. First, I want to give you guys a little background how I got into luxury. I have always kind of liked bags. I will insert a picture from when I was a toddler walking through my home, carrying my mom's bag with my big old diaper on through the kitchen. Like, I was literally that child who loved all things feminine. So I always had a good Sanrio bag, but when I started getting into luxury, it was because I took a trip to Miami, and this was, I think, the first time I had ever seen like an influx of luxury, like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and I was just like, oh my goodness, it's so pretty. I love it. During that trip, I think I got like a Coach hat and a Gucci bag, and I was just like, this is my new thing. So I would say, probably since I've been around ages like 10 to 13, that's when I really got into luxury, and it has kind of just like snowballed. But I have made a lot of mistakes in my decades of acquiring and buying luxury myself. Obviously, when I was younger and I was acquiring these things, I wasn't paying for them. So I do think I have a different perspective on luxury now that I'm able to pay for it myself. As I'm walking you through my journey, kind of keep that in mind that I started buying when I was young, even myself. Like, as soon as I started making money, I used to be a reseller on eBay. I was buying bags and I made a lot of mistakes, and I don't want you all to make them. So let's take a look at my journey. Okay, the first mistake I made was buying what was latest and greatest. So I would say since I was in college, I was buying the latest and greatest, especially Louis Vuitton. I will say my tried and true love, my first love with luxury is definitely Louis Vuitton. Though it wasn't the first bag that I ever acquired, it was the brand that I have always just been drawn to the most. And every bag that was new, I'm talking the Neverfull. I think I got my Neverfull when I was in college, like when it first came out. The Palm Springs Mini, the Pochette Métis. Every new bag I had to have. When Louis Vuitton started doing the Damier Azur with the colored interiors, I had to have that. I literally thought I needed every new bag that came out, because at that time I was also consuming a lot of YouTube, and you know, I think I contribute to that, which is why I don't share too many hauls anymore, because when you watch YouTube, you can get into a vicious cycle actually of just buying and buying and buying. Everything that came out, I thought I needed it, and I didn't take into account that this isn't even my style. So I would buy and then I would sell. I would buy and sell. And it was just a rotating door in my collection of things that I bought because they were popular, they were brand new. And then I realized this doesn't even work for my lifestyle. So that was definitely the first mistake. Now I don't do that. I definitely have a prototype of my favorite bag. I love a good top handle. I love a classic piece, but I also love something super fun and unique. So gone are the days of just buying what is latest and greatest. Not to say that I won't buy popular bags, but just because it's new and everybody's getting it, I'm not automatically drawn to it because it has to really fit my lifestyle and my collection. Excuse me, have you heard heard? How have you not heard? I now have makeup consultations, skincare consultations, makeup one-on-ones, and a makeup group masterclass available on my website. If you are looking to up your skincare game, to solidify the perfect routine, maybe for the change in season, y'all know pollen is erupting, we are well into spring, and if you want to revamp your skincare routine, definitely check out my skincare consultation. I also have a makeup consultation to learn all about makeup and get a customized product list. With each makeup or skincare consultation, after your consultation, I send you a customized product recommendation list. I get to try so many makeup and skincare products because I'm a beauty influencer. I literally have a spreadsheet of over 100 newest, latest, and greatest items that I can help recommend dedicated to your skin type. I also have the makeup one-on-one and the makeup group masterclass because those are things that you guys have asked for. I am always happy to help. Makeup application does not have to be cumbersome and hard. It can be fun and easy. It's all about getting the preferred look that you want. So definitely check out my website, guys. Class is now in session. Yeah, it is. And that feeds into my second mistake, which was not knowing my style. When I first started buying bags, like I said, it was just going with what was popular. I didn't realize that my style was not casual bags. I didn't realize that I didn't like a crossbody. I love a more fancy dressed up bag. I didn't realize that back then. So I was buying so many casual pieces and I just didn't find them to be useful. I really love a more elevated handbag. Even if I'm gonna be wearing activewear and like a nice denim jacket, I like my bag to be a bit fancier. So I'm so glad that throughout my journey, I have learned what I like and what I don't like, because I know that if a new tote comes out and it's in amazing colors and it's so cute and it's from Louis Vuitton, I don't necessarily need it because I know that I don't use a tote except for traveling. I'm glad that now I'm no longer buying just because I see things and I want them. I can appreciate something but not purchase it because I know it's not my style and I won't use it. Okay, the third mistake was over-consuming instead of curating. I would say that my luxury handbag collection, I probably, I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I think I have over 50 luxury bags for sure. Once again, I've been collecting for over 2 decades. I used to buy a new handbag every time I had the money for it. Like if I had saved up enough money to buy a new bag just because I had the funds, I would buy a new bag instead of thinking about where are the holes in my luxury collection. So now I still kind of buy a few bags a year, but I like to think of what are the colors I'm missing? What are the shapes I'm missing? Now that I have more of an established collection, I can curate my collection to be more well-rounded. And I think that's something that you get into the more you buy. If you are just starting a luxury handbag collection or you just got into buying designer bags, you're probably just gonna buy what really piques your interest because you're excited, this is new. But definitely as I settled more into my style, as I realized what worked for me and what didn't, I realized that I can pick pieces to round out my collection and not just buy 5 new black bags because I like black bags. I don't think I've bought a black bag all year. Like I don't really buy black bags anymore. It has to be a special black bag because I have probably 10 black bags. So now I'm more focused on a curated collection. It's purposeful. Now I'm more interested in having every color, a Roy G. Biv selection of handbags, just so that I have something nice to pick from rather than buying every new black Chanel handbag or even vintage styles just because they're cute. I try to be more thoughtful and think about what works in my collection. I want meaningful pieces for me, not necessarily just to acquire something to fill a space. Okay, the fourth mistake I made. Whoo, this is a spicy one. Selling things that I was over. Let's say, for instance, the Celine mini luggage. That was a tote that was out and that was very popular probably over a decade ago. Selling bags like that or the Palm Springs mini. Now, these are examples of bags that I was actually over, which is why I got rid of them. But definitely in my, I would say probably about 4 to 5 years ago, before the pandemic, I used to sell bags left and right. I had a rotating door, and now I see that If I want a curated collection and I want a collection that has pieces that are meaningful, if I want a well-rounded collection that encompasses different variety of styles and colors, I can't just keep what's in season. I can't just keep buying and selling. So what does that mean? That means that now I do have some bags that are lesser used in my collection, but they still fulfill a need. So I like to keep bags even if I'm not 100% in love with them, because I may end up loving it, I don't know, 2 years from now. So I definitely don't sell as much as I used to. I haven't sold a bag probably since before the pandemic, but I used to sell like all the time, every other month. But all of these mistakes that I've made and all these regrets, if you will, kind of tie into one another. I have less of a need to sell now because I know that this piece is special and I have it in my collection for a specific reason. Okay, and the last mistake that I made buying luxury was not utilizing Facebook groups, eBay, Fashion File, Yugi's Closet, The Real, and all those other places. Basically, when I started buying handbags, I always purchased brand new. Now, I knew about the pre-owned market because I used to be a seller on eBay like when I was in high school and college, but there wasn't a heavy emphasis the way there is now. The only website that I can remember when I really started buying handbags was Bag Borrow Steal, which I believe is still around, but there weren't too many websites where luxury, vintage, or pre-owned bags were readily available. Now, let me tell you why I love this now, because I love a deal. I don't care if I can afford to buy a bag 5 times. If I can get 15% off, I'm choosing 15% off. So now I buy 99% pre-loved versus brand new. That's just me. It kind of works in my favor because Louis Vuitton's quality, like I said, that's my favorite house. In the past like 5 or so years, it's gone down so much. The canvas feels rubbery to me. I remember the days where Louis Vuitton pieces felt substantial and they were high quality, and you just don't get that quality anymore. So I like to buy pre-loved, and more recently in the past 2 years, I really love buying vintage because that is where you get the best quality, where you get the best prices and the most unique pieces. Most of the bags I buy now are vintage styles. They're from at least 5 to 10 years ago. I'm not really acquiring too many bags that are on trend. Every once in a while I will, but I'm just honestly having fun buying bags that I wanted when I was like a teenager but I couldn't afford. The Louis Vuitton Noe GM, the DeVille, Cabas Mezzo, the Papillon, like all those bags I remember from childhood. That is the era of which I love from Louis Vuitton. So those are the type of bags that I'm into, and I definitely now fully support pre-owned. I know that not everyone will, but that's just my preference. Okay, and now I want to share 5 bags that I purchased that I probably have shared most of them on my channel that were huge mistakes. I wanted to throw this in as a little added bonus. So the first is the Palm Springs Mini. If you guys remember, I would say probably like 5, maybe 6 years ago, maybe even more, the Palm Springs Mini backpack came out and I did purchase that. Now, why in the world was I running around with a backpack? I don't even enjoy backpacks. I have another Louis Vuitton backpack that I only use for traveling, but I'm not a backpack girl, nor am I really a crossbody bag girl if it's casual. I basically bought that bag because it was on trend, it was popular, everybody had to have it, and so did I. So I definitely sold that bag. I never wore it as a backpack per se. I always wore it crossbody. It was cute in the moment, but looking back, it's like, that really wasn't your style. So I am glad that I got rid of that bag because it just didn't suit my needs. That's an example of me just buying something because it was popular and hyped all over YouTube. And where is it now? Hopefully in a home being loved and used. Okay, my second bag is actually a style of bags, and these are totes. I do not like a tote. Of all the totes that I've purchased, I do still have a Louis Vuitton Totally MM, which I'm keeping in the rare event that I ever become a mother. I just think that will be a wonderful, stylish diaper bag type of bag, but I don't necessarily know how I feel about that, but the option is there. I still have a Goyard tote, and I also have a Louis Vuitton Neverfull. The Goyard I use as a pool bag, I'm just being honest. The Louis Vuitton Neverfull I use to travel with exclusively. I do also have a Chanel medallion tote, but that is more of a small everyday tote, and I love that bag. But I have had more totes in the past. There used to be this thing with huge tote bags, and I was that girl who thought they needed them all. Like I said, the only tote bag that I really love now is my Chanel medallion tote because it's more of an everyday bag. Even though there are certain tote styles like the Louis Vuitton on the go that I think is really beautiful, I know that I'm not gonna use a tote except to travel, and I already have two that I could use. So yeah, I definitely have learned my lesson with totes. The third bag, Speedys. I used to have a monogram Speedy 25, either a 20 or 25. I don't even remember. I had that in college. I do currently have a Damier Azur Speedy 35, which I kind of do still like. It serves a purpose. It's a lighter bag. I also had a Louis Vuitton Speedy 35 Damier Abine bandolier bag. Sold that. I'm not a Speedy girl, with exception. I do want a few more Speedys in my collection, but they have to be unique. One Speedy that I just can't get my mind off of is the Monogramouflage collection. If you have been a Louis Vuitton lover for decades like myself, you know this bag, and every time I see Monica out with this bag, I'm like, oh, I just want to touch it, but I just feel like that would be so weird. That bag came out when I was young and I couldn't afford it. It goes for almost $10,000 now on the pre-owned market, so yeah, definitely not buying a $10,000 canvas bag, but that is a Speedy that I would love. It is monogram and camouflage inspired, which totally goes with my everyday attire of wearing all black. So I would get a limited edition really cool Speedy, but nothing really traditional because that bag is just so casual to me that it doesn't suit my personal style. Another Speedy that I kind of vacillate whether or not I want it is the Takashi Murakami, the original like multicolor Speedy. I would love one of those. That is just like the quintessential bag of the early 2000s, the Jessica Simpson era. Like those are just the bags that I love. So those are the two Speedys that I would get, but as you can see, the Speedy that I have, I don't use, and I have sold a few Speedys as well. So now I know that I'm not a Speedy girl, and I don't even try to look for Speedys unless they're really special. My next bag was the Louis Vuitton Tivoli GM, and this is a bag that I used to love. I want to say I sold it maybe 5 or 6 years ago. This was a bag that was most like a Speedy, but it had longer straps that you could actually adjust. Another reason why I'm not a fan of a Speedy is because it's just so, it's like a shapeless pit. So the Tivoli has a little bit more structure to it. It looks a bit more unique, but once again, it's that style that I'm just not too fond of in a Louis Vuitton bag. Sometimes I see women out with the Tivoli GM and I'm like, I should probably get that bag, but I have so many top handle Louis Vuitton bags like the DeVille that I could use in place of that don't warrant me buying another bag that I may not use. So that's just another case. It's a bag similar to a Speedy, so why did I have a regular Speedy and a Tivoli? I clearly didn't need them, but that was me just buying what was in. No more of that. And the last bag that I have since sold that I loved when I purchased it was the Gucci Soho Disco bag, and I think I did an unboxing for this. I'll link it down below. The Gucci Soho Disco is such a casual bag, and like I said, I'm not into a casual bag. If I wear a crossbody, it's more than likely a vacation crossbody bag or a wallet on chain or something that also has a top handle, and the Gucci Soho Disco can only be worn crossbody. Now I did love the beautiful purple color that I had. It's just not a style that was anything that I gravitated towards. At the time I loved it, but like I said, now I'm definitely not a crossbody bag girl, and so I had to get rid of that. Oh, it kind of pained me because I loved that bag so much when I first got it. So yeah, guys, those are the 5 bags that I've gotten rid of and my 5 mistakes that I've made along my journey of purchasing luxury handbags. I would say to anyone who's starting a collection to have fun, buy what you want. You don't necessarily have to use these videos to restructure your collection, because when you're first getting into something, you're just having a good time. You don't also have to become a collector and amass 50 to 60 bags like myself. I don't think that's necessary, but like I said, since the age of 2 or probably 1, I have loved a handbag, so this is just kind of like my thing. But I've had fun over the years. Yes, I've made mistakes. Yes, I have some regrets, but it is what it is. We live and we learn, and now I can confidently say the bags that I buy more often than not, I truly love, and they really fit well into my collection. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much to Benita and Roya for tagging me. I will link their channels down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.